Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we have some XRP news. We have some Bitcoin news to cover today, Bitcoin articles. We have some Solana articles, NFT articles, silver articles. We have a lot of news to get through today. So let's begin here because Brad Garlinghouse is making waves again. So this article here is titled XRP News Today, Ripple's CEO remarks propel price as Coinbase battles SEC. It begins here. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talks Bitcoin spot ETFs and crypto. This is Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse broke an extended period of silence on Monday discussing the Bitcoin spot ETF market and market performance. Garlinghouse said, quote, Bitcoin ETF volumes have been soaring. We're due for a halving, and the broader crypto market is following Bitcoin's lead. Means everything else is going up. We've seen that, though. It goes up, goes down. You know how this goes. It says, as has historically been the case, as someone who experienced multiple cycles of, quote, crypto is back, unquote, it's imperative that this bullishness go hand in hand with real world utility. I have to laugh. That's the XRP talk. You know that, right? You do know Brad got a tattoo. He got a tattoo of XRP. So he may not say it directly, but that's XRP talk, real world utility. You know, he's got to push XRP a little bit. In my humble opinion, that's just my interpretation. It says that's the real and inevitable march of progress. So he's pretty much saying that at some point, utility will kick in the future, or it needs to, and that will be the real that will be the real push that crypto needs. But if he's saying that, then what are the implications if you get this utility run, right? Let's say any of these utility coins, XRP, Algorand, Stellar, and I take those, the big three, I call them. I take those three because they have the best relationships that I know of right now in the United States with big companies and the government as well. Although, yeah, of course, all of crypto has been under assault from the SEC. We know that, but put that to the side. I'm talking about other organizations, right? If you do have this utility run where they're using a lot of blockchain to its max at some point, how does that affect the price of everything? You tell me, right? It says Garlinghouse also spoke on Bloomberg Live recently. This is, quote, from the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks. There goes that bank talk. He's throwing little seeds out here. I don't know if people are catching it or not. So institutions like banks, where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found a part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute, unquote. Garlinghouse added. That's the way he stopped it. He stopped that sentence. He was going a little bit far with that XRP information. See, he knows something he wants to talk about. There's something he wants to say, something he's excited about, just my humble opinion. But he can't go that far just yet. But he's trying to drop little hints. I could be wrong. That's just my interpretation. Once again, quote, back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? They asked him that. All right. Who's this interviewer? Good job. Is XRP the next Bitcoin? It says, if we work with the system to solve this problem, I guess they're talking about like the legacy financial problems. There's a lot of them. And we can solve that problem at scale. That's the utility he was talking about. I told you. A problem measured in trillions of dollars. Sound like me, Brad. Talking about the trillions. A problem measured in trillions of dollars. So read that back one more time before he finishes this. Listen. Is XRP the next Bitcoin? Question mark. He said, if we work with the system to solve this problem, which they are, and we can solve that problem at scale, we have to wait and see. But that comes after the case, right? So, I mean, the implications here are insane. A problem measured in the trillions of dollars. That's what's on the table, folks. That's what we're looking at for the future. Now, there's no guarantees in anything. I don't think in guarantees. I don't think in absolution. We're just saying it's a possibility, right? Everything's a possibility. Then he says this, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP. You see what he just did there? So he can't outright, he can't say, well, yeah, it's the next, it's the next Bitcoin, because then he will be pumping XRP, right? He'll be pumping that price or whatever. But the way he phrased it was very strategic. He's letting people know, listen, I don't know about it being the next Bitcoin, but there's a lot of value it can move and it will increase in value. Then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP. The people are not hearing Brad Garlinghouse, but it will take time because they have to get to that point where they can solve the problem at scale, which means what? They have to work with institutions. Right now, what's up for question in court? Institutional use of XRP. That's what's up for questioning in court right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have to get past that case first before XRP's utility could be fully realized. The banks let that be known last year. They're ready to use XRP. At least that's what they claimed. That's what articles claimed. But they're not going to fully utilize Ripple-based XRPL-based systems until the ending of that case. That's what they said. I showed everybody the articles and make up your own mind about that. But this also puts another thing to bed. It shows Brad Garlinghouse's love and respect for XRP and that they're still backing XRP. Then it says here, the comments fueled an XRP breakout. They're talking about the other day. Recent XRP price trends presented a buying opportunity after trailing the broader market. I mean, like, is this really what fueled a breakout? Are they sure about that? It seemed to me like when Bitcoin went up, XRP did what it does. It went up. XLM also went up. And then when Bitcoin went down, then the price goes down again. This is logical. This is rinse and repeat. We know this is just the energy of the day. It's how everything is moving. Bitcoin went down, XRP went down. So I look at it that way. Like, the price went up because Bitcoin's price went up. The same thing happened in all the other times Bitcoin goes up. So now let's move on here because we have more activity going on here, which, by the way, if you haven't already, if you're not a part of the members only section, I would encourage you to join the members only section. I'm going to be releasing a video over there, probably either tonight or in the morning. It's going to take a long time to process that video. Then also you can leave comments on the videos before they even come out. Right. So then I can more clearly see your comment and your words before everybody else even gets a chance. Right. So, hey, head over to that members only section right below this video. I'm not sure how it's presented on computers as opposed to mobile. That I'm not sure of anymore. But there should be a join button somewhere around here or in the description box, and join the members only section. All right. OK. So now this article here is titled Hong Kong's central bank starts regulatory sandbox for stablecoin issuers. And isn't it interesting? We heard Ripple talking about stablecoins a lot the last 3 months. I mean, more than I've ever heard them talk about stablecoins. Typically, that's Stellar blockchain talk. They talk a lot about USDC. They say stablecoins, but they're really talking about USDC, right? I've never heard Stellar talk about Tether as an example. But Ripple was talking about stablecoins. They have a deep relationship with Hong Kong Monetary Authority. They built their CBDC platform for use over there, and they have a connection with a lot of other businesses in Hong Kong. So this is very interesting, but let's read this little tidbit here. It says the regulator invited applicants with a, quote, genuine interest in developing a stablecoin issuance business, unquote, to join the sandbox. It says the Hong Kong Monetary Authority started a regulatory sandbox to give potential stablecoin issuers an environment for developing and testing certain operations without penalties. The sandbox provides regulatory leeway and aligns with Hong Kong's plan to regulate fiat-backed stablecoins, which are cryptocurrencies. Well, we know what it is. Let's skip that part. It says, quote, applicants should have a genuine interest in developing a stablecoin issuance business in Hong Kong with a reasonable business plan, and their proposed operations under the sandbox arrangement will be conducted within a limited scope and in a risk-controlled manner, unquote, says the Hong Kong Monetary Authority notice. So the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, who has deep connections with Ripple, is now ready to start rolling out some sort of testing ground for stablecoins, while Ripple was talking about stablecoins not that long ago and how they're positive. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What? Where's this coming from? Now it's getting interesting. Right. See how they drop little hints and then you see a development occur and then the dots start to connect, right? I mean, at least that's how I look at it. You can look at it in your own way. All right. It says in December, the jurisdiction's regulators started seeking public views on its regulatory proposals for stablecoins, including requiring issuers to be licensed in order to operate in Hong Kong. All right. So now let's move on here. We have a lot of articles to get through today. So there's this, like, I don't know what's going on. This has been happening for 1 week straight. They just keep on removing massive amounts of XRP and putting them into cold wallets, taking it off of exchanges. And the question I keep asking is why? This article is titled Explaining XRP's Outflows from Binance Hit 75 million. And I actually saw another article. It went up since I got this article. I think it's at 94 million, something like that. Well, you'll find the article. You'll see the articles. They're popping up all over the place. It says the number of Ripple XRP tokens that have been retired from Binance has exceeded 75 million. AMB Crypto confirmed after reviewing the large transactions Whale Alert reported. I guess so you could check out Whale Alert and you'll see the data there. In the last 24 hours. So it's so strange. And I'm pretty sure strategic as selling is going on, because you saw the price come down a little bit. As selling is going on, every single time you're having these whales buy huge amounts of it. I don't know, folks. It's getting real interesting. But it says, according to Whale Alert, these transactions happen in batches. That's what I'm talking about. It's big groupings of this all at once. It says, but for XRP's price, this could be good news. One reason for this projection is that large withdrawals from exchanges meant fewer sell-offs. Also, if buying pressure comes in during this period, the cryptocurrency's price might soar. Well, listen, it looks like it's being balanced out because you'll have some, the price will go up a little bit. You'll have some, bullishness in it. But then the selling, there's a lot of selling. There's a lot of volatility, which makes sense. People are going to swing traders and day traders are going to get some profit off of it going up. Then it comes down a little bit. So there's a balance. The question is, which one wins over time? Does the buying win and the price go up? Or does the selling win and the price go down? That's what I think we're keeping an eye on right now. But as Bitcoin goes up, definitely that price is going to go up as well for XRP, XLM, and a lot of other things. A lot of things looking really, really good right now, actually. So now let's move on here. So we have more XRP news. There's a lot of things going on here. So this article is titled European Style XRP Options Contracts to Debut on Binance. It says the most prominent crypto exchange, Binance, has announced its intention to launch a new service centered on XRP. The 6 most valuable crypto, in particular, Binance will introduce XRP/USDT options on Binance Options RFQ next Monday, March the 11th. The exchange communicated the move in a statement via its official website today. All right, so that's going to be very interesting, folks. Things are moving forward. Then we have another article here. Let's move on here. Oh, so this is a little bit of Solana news. One of my absolute favorite, one of my absolute best cryptos here. Solana's been doing very, very well. So this article is titled Macro Guru Raoul Pal unveils massive price target for Solana. And it goes as such. Macro Guru and Real Vision CEO Raoul Pal thinks Solana is poised to print fresh all-time highs this market cycle. In an interview with On the Rug Radio YouTube channel, Powell doubles down on his belief that Solana is the Ethereum of the last cycle. I'll take that. 100%. I want that to happen. According to Powell, Solana could soar between 235% and 570%. Man, I thought I was bullish on Solana. Ron Powell is really bullish on Solana, and I like it. It says from current levels, depending on the type of cycle we get in the coming months. Quote, if you kind of replicate what ETH did last cycle, that was a 45x from low. So you get somewhere like about $500. If I look at other charts, I get somewhere between $500 and $1,000. Yes, give me that money. I like money. You got to throw some jokes in from time to time throughout the day. Keep the day interesting. You know, we make our own fun around here. It says, and it just depends on the structure of this market. If we get a bubble cycle, it will go to $1,000. It says if we get some sort of left translated cycle, it gets $500. It's something like that. In a left translated crypto cycle, prices peak earlier than the regular 4-year cycles, translating into a shorter bull market and a longer bearish phase. Sure, that's possible. Yeah, I could see that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so. Not with institutions taking over, not with institutions dominating. I don't think so. But we shall see. We'll see. Solana is trading at $149 at this time of writing. Looking at the broader digital asset market, Powell says that crypto is in the midst of a strong uptrend that he calls, quote, crypto summer, unquote. And I like how that sounds. Quote, we are in crypto summer. We just started crypto summer. Crypto summer is up only. Yes, you can get the 30% pullbacks that happen in your face in minutes. That's why I've been saying that in a lot of these videos, right? You're going to get those pullbacks. Price is going to go down. Then they go back up again. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take very long either for it to go back up. Anything is possible in these bull markets. It says, but that's crypto summer. This whole year should be crypto summer. Wow. You know what? I'm liking Raoul Pal more and more every time I read one of his articles. All right, so now let's move on here. We have a Bitcoin article. This article is titled, Analyst Says Bitcoin Will Drift Higher Amid Generational Mindset Shift. A top trader who nailed the end of the 2021 Bitcoin bull market says people should start looking at Bitcoin from a different perspective. Says, according to the analyst, a number of factors are working together to push Bitcoin to uncharted bullish territory. Quote, I think the correct way to view crypto, as opposed to always trying to call tops right now, is to widen your time horizon. That's how I look at it. But a lot of people are very short term, but to each his own. The Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund was the most bullish ETF in history. The suits love it. People wanted it and didn't know how to buy it. It will become easier to use with a better user interface and more people will be onboarded. Central banks will print money. They always have and have shown they can't stop. That is true. That's true. So no matter what, this should in theory drift up and to the right on any large time frame. All right. So he says, so stop trying to call tops, zoom out and think about where it's heading a decade from now, higher. Yeah, that's a heck of a zoom out. Actually, there's much more zoom out than I usually do when it comes to certain assets. But yes, I agree with this sentiment 100%. So now let's move on here. We're actually doing a good pace, getting through quite a few articles today. So this article is titled, Bitcoin has 6 months until ETF liquidity crisis. Bitcoin ETFs are sucking up the Bitcoin available for purchase, and the tipping point in supply dynamics will come this year, one analyst says. Bitcoin faces a, quote, sell-side liquidity crisis, unquote, by September if institutional inflows continue, an industry analyst said. In a thread on X on March the 12th, Ki Young Ju, founder and CEO of on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant, predicted a Bitcoin supply watershed, quote, within 6 months. Says he noted that ETFs alone put away more than 30,000 Bitcoin last week. And with 3 million Bitcoin in exchange and miner wallets, the odds of a supply-induced price shock become clear. People are not hearing this. They're not ready. They're not ready for where things can go. I know they're not. And everything else, remember, if Bitcoin has a supply shock and that price skyrockets, everything else stands to benefit. There's no guarantees in anything, but everything else stands to benefit for those who are prepared for it. A lot of things can go up dramatically. And I'm ready to see something miraculous, something spectacular, to be quite honest. But we shall see if this does occur. So he's saying by September, that's if these catalysts continue. So let's keep our eye on institutional inflows, and I guess that will tell the story of what's going to happen next. All right, so now let's move on here. We have 4 articles left. One is an NFT article, one is a banking article, one is a liquidity article about banks. I have a lot of banking information, so let's go to liquidity, because liquidity is all the rage these days. There's going to be some problems coming soon, and we'll finish off with some silver news. So this article is titled "Liquidity Coverage for Uninsured Deposits Weakens at Small U.S. Banks. Fitch says they're in trouble." I don't know how many times I have to say it or how many different ways I can say it, but I just know it all leads back to that. They are in trouble. Uninsured deposits is one of the biggest problems the banks have today. And man, people better be careful with that whole buy-in aspect. If they're in trouble, there's no way I don't see them taking that money or holding that money or freezing it. And people just don't need that happening. I would call my bank and find out, hey, listen, can you provide me some information or maybe an information sheet on how much in uninsured deposits this bank has? And just be respectful about it. Just be respectful about it. And hopefully they can provide that. I think that they should. You could go on there, probably on their most banks' website, and look at their financial information. We used to do that a lot on the channel in the beginning. But I would check. I definitely would. And I also would check on their exposure to commercial real estate, because although we saw in the video yesterday, which was eye-opening in my humble opinion, of how much exposure the big banks have, which I was surprised at, the little banks they're more vulnerable to their exposures to commercial real estate. I would check on that as well. But I'm just going to leave that right there. I don't want to get too deep with that. All right. So now, because I want to get to this silver news here. Haven't done silver in a little bit of time now. So now this article here, we're going to close out with this one. It's titled "Silver Price Forecast." Silver continues to bounce around. Silver continues to be very noisy. And at this point in time, I think it will be one of your more fascinating, quote, buy on the dips, unquote, type of situations, as we are banging against major resistance just above $24.50. Silver market technical analysis. As you can see, the silver market has rallied a bit during the trading session here early on Monday. But I do think that you have a situation where traders are going to continue to see $24.50 level offer a significant amount of resistance. With that being the case, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I think it's probably only a matter of time before we do break out. But all things at this point suggest a pullback, and that pullback, more likely than not, will continue to be a situation where traders look at it as a value proposition, especially closer to $23.50 level. And therefore, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait a little bit for a pullback. All right. Now, keep in mind, silver is a little bit of a beast in its own right due to the fact that it is typically much more volatile than gold. It's worth noting that gold has broken out to all-time highs, but they also look a little bit tired over there as well. So I'm going to let it come back, and then I'm going to start buying. This is a thorough article. This usually articles on FX Empire aren't like this. This person letting you know when they're going to buy and everything. Man, okay. If we do break the shooting star on Friday, then I think it opens up the door to $26. Yes, I would like to see that. Yeah. But, you know, like for me, silver is so different. I look at silver so different. If silver goes up, sure. Listen, I like to make a little bit of capital. But silver is more of a protective asset to me, and one of the best. You get in on one of those dips, in my humble opinion, not financial advice, but it's a protective thing. I look at gold the same way, but we've gone up so high in gold now. The gains are astronomical at this point, from where a lot of us got into gold a long time ago. So yes, gold is protective, but I also look at gold now and probably for a little longer into the future as a moneymaker, especially if any of those banks go down, like experts are predicting, if the banks go down, then gold will skyrocket again. Silver might go up a little bit as well. But I mostly look at them as protective assets, you know, but silver, definitely I look at it as that. So silver's looking good so far. We'll see where everything goes. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.